A Russian analyst and former Vladimir Putin advisor said it is impossible Russia was behind the S of the hundreds of civilians in a Ukrainian town. A former Vladimir Putin advisor has laughed off suggestions Moscow was appearing to lose its war against Ukraine and claimed the hundreds of civilians that were in a town outside the capital were being punished. Ukrainian officials this week said it had discovered a total of 410 corpses in municipalities surrounding Kyiv, as part of an investigation into possible war crimes by Russia. Shocking graphic images showed several corpses scattered along a main road in the decimated town of Butcha, where it's been reported up to 300 residents were slaughtered and a mass grave was discovered. Some bodies had their hands tied together with white fabric, and others were found inside a basement with signs of torture before they were executed. Stream the latest news on the war in Ukraine live and on demand on Flash. 25+ news channels in one place. New to Flash? Try 1 month free. Offer ends the 31st of October 2022. Former Vladimir Putin advisor Sergei Markov claims the reporting of 300 civilians were at the hands of Ukrainian fascists and neo-Nazis, and not the Russian army. Picture supplied. Sergei Markov, a Russian political analyst and former advisor to President Putin, claimed Ukrainian authorities reported everything was fine in Butcha days before the corpses were found by authorities. He alleges Russian forces retreated from the town on March 30th, as once occupied regions slowly became liberated. He then claims the mayor of Butcha, Anatoly Fedoruk, said everything was good 1 day after troops left. The town of Butcha, where ruins of old Russian military vehicles sit among destroyed buildings and homes. Picture. Mr. Markov alleges Russian forces left the town on March 30th, when 1 day later the mayor of Butcha claimed everything was fine. Picture. Mr. Markov said Ukrainian police then arrived in the town on April 1st following the retreatment of President Putin's forces, and nothing had been reported. Can you believe that Ukrainian police and mayor could not see 300 bodies on central streets of Butcha city? He told First Edition host Peter Stefanovic. Of course, it's impossible. Mr. Markov suggested it was the barbaric, fascist regime in Ukraine that led to the S of the reported 300 civilians in the town. He alleged it was Ukrainian fascists and neo-Nazis who the locals after they violated an order by President Volodymyr Zelensky. They were because they took humanitarian aid from the Russian army, which Volodymyr Zelensky prohibited them to take, he claimed. There is no information to confirm his allegations. Mr. Markov laughed off suggestions Moscow was now losing the war that he suggested was in fact against the US and not America. He understands very well Volodymyr Zelensky is not president of Ukraine, he's just a puppet in the hands of the United States of America, and it's not war between Russia and Ukraine, it's war between Russia and America, a proxy, he said. No, we're not losing war. We're going to crash this American proxy, the Ukrainian army. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky addressing the United Nations, where he called for Moscow to face justice over its actions. Picture. There has been worldwide condemnation of the actions from President Putin, as calls escalate for the Russian leader to face a war crimes trial. President Zelensky demanded Russian military commanders face justice. Butcha is only one of many of what occupiers have been doing on our land for 41 days, he told a UN meeting overnight. Now the world can see what Russian military did in Butcha, but the world has yet to see what they have done in other occupied cities and regions of our country. Moscow officials have continued to deny claims civilians were at their hands.